Here's what you missed this week on Play Mornings.
73-year-old Bill Belichick's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, who is 24. Hi.
Hi, my hand up here. Who is Bill Belichick?
Bill Belichick was the former Patriots coach for all the time Tom Brady was there.
Okay.
Yeah, so he essentially made Tom Brady who he
Gotcha.
is. So he got a girlfriend. She's 24 years old. Nothing wrong with that. Love is love, except in this case, when they decide to capitalize on what it really is, a gold-digging situation.
Absolutely.
Now, she's doing what all 24-year-olds do. They're trying to make jewelry. Come on, we've all been there. And she is looking to trademark the term gold digger.
Stop.
Damn straight. So she sent in the application and she's waiting to hear back. I assume it's not gonna go through.
What does it? Do we know why she wants to trademark this term?
So currently, gold digger is not trademarked. She wants to trademark it because she is making jewelry with the word gold digger on it, and she wants to make it so like all these Chinese companies can't make knockoffs of it without being sued.
Now, okay, I got to put this out here to anybody who is listening that wears jewelry. Mm-hmm. Would you wear something that said gold digger on it?
I think there's a certain group of people that would. Maybe people wearing it ironically, if, like they're the breadwinner or like their husband isn't 50 years old.
I hope she wears this necklace all the time.
The fact that she's doing it and Bill Belichick hasn't been like, oh no.
Red flag.
Yeah, is crazy to me.
That's absolute insanity.
But you know what? You do you, boo. You do you. I remember a while ago, the word react tried to get trademarked, and that fell immediately through. Yeah, there was this big reaction channel on YouTube who was like, we're going to coin the term react. And it just didn't work at all. So I imagine this is going to happen as well. But just know that if you ever buy jewelry and it says gold digger on it, it is from a 24-year-old who is dating a 73-year-old man.
You know what I feel like? I feel like Kanye West might beat her to it. So September 1st, 1992, Mario Kart was released. So we're getting pretty close to the release date.
Absolutely.
And I think that we can thank Mario Kart for potentially giving us civilized frustration. So there is a car company in China called XPeng. I think that's how you say it. And they have released the new P7 model. And it's called a road rage reliever. Get this. So this car basically will have like the window, like your front window will kind of have like a screen added into it for the full screen, full window. And it will allow you to throw animated emojis at cars. So, if someone's doing 50 and a 70, and instead of flipping them the bird, you can flip them a turd.
That's so... how is that not a thing everywhere now?
It's like,
it's like one car company.
It's like in Mario Kart, throwing the bananas.
Oh, that's
and you
so
spin
good.
out, but it's virtual. So it will look like whatever you throw at it, maybe a cup of coffee or that turd. Maybe you throw it and it will look like it is smashing all over that vehicle.
So good.
So you don't need to drive by somebody, flip them the bird. You just hit something on your steering wheel, and there's like 80 some odd different emojis that you can throw.
Yeah!
Isn't this the best thing you've ever heard of?
This is the only distracted driving that I am okay with.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
Is so good, dude. Oh my God. And what did you say this car company was?
The car company is XPeng, so X and then P-E-N-G.
Okay.
And it's a P7 model, and they have added the feature called the Road Rage Reliever. So, like I said, you can project virtual animated emojis at other motorists to express your frustration.
Oh my God, this is the greatest thing to happen to automobiles, I think, ever.
Since the invention of automobiles. Okay, I gotta ask this question. Any of your parents or your friends' parents' home, did they ever have a weird rule that you had to abide by whenever you were over?
No. I want to say no. Like
dig deep.
There were like some houses where it was like shoes are okay, and then some were like shoes weren't okay. I was a shoes okay house.
I was a shoes not okay house.
We didn't have carpeting.
Neither did we.
Then that's weird. Like, what?
Okay, the reason I asked you this question, a really good friend of mine back home, if every time I'd go over to her house, we weren't allowed to flush the toilet.
I'm done with
If
this
it was
story.
a number one, you weren't allowed to flush the toilet. When you wipe, you do your thing, you throw it in the garbage, you don't flush the toilet. And I couldn't stand this because you get that like stagnant, stale pee smell. And it just popped up into my head randomly, and it just made me wonder if anybody else grew up with someone who had a weird rule in their home.
Not as weird as that. Unless somebody texts in and is like, we weren't allowed to flush after a poop. Then that's the only way it could get weirder. We could flush pee perfectly fine. The poops had to sit.
I think it's because, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think they were on like a septic tank or something, so the less flushing, the better.
What does that mean they were on a septic tank?
So instead of like being, there's like a tank or something in your lawn, like underground.
Oh, what? No! There shouldn't
So that's
be a
where
thing.
the water comes from. It's not where your number one and number twos go. It's where the water comes from. It's just a tank underground or something like that.
I thought all that
Look,
was
I
going
could be
into the
wrong.
ground.
But anyways, I think that's why they didn't flush the toilet. But it made me not want to go over to their house because
Of course.
it smelled.
Of course.
So now I need to know if anybody else had some weird rule that they had to follow when they went over to someone's home.
You know, I'm going to take a guess and say I know who's going to text in. It's going to be Courtney, only because she was also a leash kid. So I feel like leash kids like you and Courtney stick together in, wow, did we grow up weird as hell.
Yeah, there were some weird things growing up. Trying to think of other weird things that we had to follow going into other friends' homes.
I would like to point this out. I said shoes on or off, and you hit us with, yeah, we weren't allowed to flush the toilet at my one friend's house. That's crazy. 780-791-1037. Can you beat
that?
not flushing the toilet? I hope not. I hope not.
Me too.
One of the greatest and, the horniest Netflix shows of all time might be on the chopping block. I'm talking about Too Hot to Handle, which is a show in which you get a bunch of very, very horny hot people, and you tell them, hey, this is a show where you have a bunch of sex, and you just go after it. And then once they're on the show, you say, just kidding. That better not be going in there, or you lose a bunch of money.
Yes, I definitely watched the first 2 seasons. I remember Francesca something. She was on, I think, Love Is Blind. She's in a whole bunch of
That's
stuff.
how she makes her living.
This was like a guilty pleasure for me.
Of course.
I hated to love it, and I still hate to love it.
Nobody should enjoy these types of shows. However, they're so captivating.
I always did love like that initial moment when they're told that they can't touch anybody.
Yeah, it's
the
like-
looks on their faces.
It's as if you told them their mother died.
You know, I thought about this too. So season 1 happened, season 2, there's like 6 seasons,
Yeah.
I think.
Yep, there's 6.
So you would think that some of these people have seen previous seasons, would know what's about to happen.
Okay, so here is what they do, because I thought the exact same thing. The producers of the show come up with a different show every single time. Then when they put out the
Okay.
casting calls, it's like, oh, this is a new dating reality show. You've never seen it before. And then they sign up for it, whatever. They sign on that dotted line. They show up, and then they're like, hey, rug pull. It's actually too hot to handle.
Now, shouldn't something like this be in their contract, though? Like, do you think they read the fine print? Do you think it was in there?
Do I think people going on a dating reality show in which they think they're going to smush read a contract?
I would.
Do I think that a bunch of people thinking with their junk and their badonkadonks read a contract instead of being like, put my ass on television right now? I'm going to go out on a limb and say no. And I guarantee they don't have a lawyer. They do now. Definitely. After they got rug pulled like that. I would do terribly on this show. I'll tell you that right now. Because I am a hunk of burning love.
So it says that it's just on hold. It might not return for its 7th season, but it's got really, really high ratings.
I believe every single time a new season comes out, it's always like on the top trending charts of Netflix.
I mean, forget about Love Island. This is where it's at.
This is where it's at.
Too Hot to Handle is where it's at. Love Island is out.
Yeah, Love Island is just people doing it. This is people doing it, but then losing money.
Love is Blind is out too. Okay, this is where it is at. This is where the tea is.
So
this is the juicy stuff.
Well, pun intended. We all have to rally together to keep this show going till season 7.
I don't understand why they want to shelf it if it's got such high ratings.
I don't know. Maybe they're trying to go in a different direction. Maybe they're going to have one about singles who read books.
Maybe they're going to make one too cold to handle.
If it's cold, it shrinks.
Don't be